They are welcome grade 12s and all physical science fanatics. We are on another section which is organic molecules. This is a big section in the chemistry paper which takes up to 50 marks of the paper or more, plus or minus 50. One of the sections that is giving learners a problem is this one of physical properties. Let's go through the section together and we'll see. Maybe after this session you might be a different learner or have a different understanding of the concepts in this section. The section in a nutshell will summarize a bit before we can deal with the question related to the section. The section is dealing with the physical properties as we know them to be your boiling point, your melting point, and the vapor pressure. These physical properties, then first you can expect definitions for these three. We know that boiling point is a temperature, and melting point also is a temperature, whereas vapor pressure becomes the pressure, in this case exerted by a vapor in equilibrium with its liquid. You must have a closed system in a closed system. As a nutshell, this one. Whereas boiling point is a temperature at which the vapor pressure and atmospheric pressure are equal. At that temperature where the vapor pressure and the atmospheric pressure are equal, we say we have reached the boiling point. Melting point is the temperature at which the solid and the liquid phase are in equilibrium. That's why in a nutshell we say if you want to just get a distinction between the three, you classify them to say boiling point is temperature, melting point is a temperature, that the other one is a pressure in this case. Now further than this, you will be asked now to deal with the variables in this section. There are three types of variables. We'll have independent variable, and then we'll have the controlled variable, and then we'll have the dependent variable. These are the three categories. Now, which ones can be independent in this section of organic molecules will be mainly if you are dealing with organic compounds belonging to the same functional group, you will be dealing with the chain length. If you don't want to say chain length, if you don't want to talk about the chain length, you can just talk about the surface area. So the longer the chain length, the greater the surface area. Number two can be the homologous series. Homologous series. Once you entertain homologous series, indirectly you are talking about the functional group. Fine. Of late, some learners now they entertain also the strength of intermolecular forces. Also is one of the independent variable. What can be controlled? What should remain the same? In this case, we can have the number of carbon atoms can remain the same. We can have the molecular mass remaining the same, molecular mass. And then we can also have the third one being, we can have homologous series. We can be comparing alkanes. What is remaining there is homologous series. Once you talk about homologous series, obviously the functional group also kicks in. Functional group. Then the results now. What are you looking at? Once you are changing the independent variable, you look at the results here. Then you will be now changing the boiling point. You'll be now changing the melting point. You'll be now also changing the vapor pressure. Remember, boiling point and melting point, they normally behave the same way. The stronger the intermolecular forces, or the longer the chain length, the greater the boiling point, or the greater the melting point. Those ones, they go together. So that is the variables in this case. And when we continue, you will be also learning, we can use these variables now to answer 3 simple questions. One, which is the one of investigative question. Investigative question, it's the simplest one. Investigative question, where now we can create a frame to say, learners, to avoid confusion, just use this frame. What is the relationship? What is the relationship between you mentioned the 2 variables, variable number 1 and variable number 2. The second variable, then you put a question mark at the end. Meaning that, let's say for example I was comparing the alkanes, one is having longer chain length and another shorter, will just be, what is the relationship between chain length and the boiling point? Or what is the relationship between the strength of intermolecular forces and the boiling point? So that's where now you deal with this one. It's easier in that case. It's the frame that you can use it in any given time. You will get the 2 marks. Now the other one is how to write a hypothesis. Hypothesis, there are almost 4 types that you can do. But as long as you know the variables, the first question will be, were the 2 variables mentioned? If yes, then the learner will get 1 mark. So let's say we are relating the chain length and boiling point, then I will just say an increase in chain length increases the boiling point.